The UFL ratings are in, and our main man, Mike Mitchell from Sports Illustrated, he's got it all down, and Sue breaks it down for us. First of all, we get right into it. So week 3 TV ratings, average viewership Saturday, the DC Arlington game on ESPN, 534,000 viewers. That's the lowest it's been all season. Memphis Showboats Birmingham Stallions on Fox, 837,000. And then Houston and Michigan on Sunday on ABC, 974,000. In St. Louis and San Antonio, the premier game of the week, in my opinion, 4 p.m. start, 1.023 million viewers. That is the numbers. As far as the other numbers you might want to know about for this past weekend, we have them here on our schedule site on UFL News Hub. Attendance for the Renegades DC Defenders game with the ratings of 534,000 were 8,411. That is meh for a defending champion. I know that they're not winning, but still it's early on in the season. Arlington is kind of, we knew they would be middle of the pack, if not below, when it comes to attendance, and they're not going anywhere. They paid $3 million, and that's the hub, so Arlington is fine. Birmingham Stallions attendance, 12,265. We were concerned about this. We thought maybe it could be really bad, but 12,000 is a respectable number for the two-time champion and undefeated Birmingham Stallions. You would think it would be more, but again, remember, they really kicked things off in January. It's something to keep in mind. Disappointing numbers for Michigan Panthers, who actually have a good team, 6,952 on the attendance of the 974,000 people watching it on TV. And then the final game at the Alamo Dome, 11,790 with the over 1 million people watching that game. It is so critical for both of these this league that they are able to have games on Fox and ABC. So the ESPN game got 500,000. The Fox game, 837,000 on that prime time. And then, of course, the two games were on ABC on Sunday. Fox Sports gallops with an 8% viewership increase with Saturday's 33-14 UFL win by the undefeated Birmingham Stallions. The primetime matchup on Fox scored 837,000 viewers, bettering the equivalent to the 2023 USFL matchup on Fox at 763,000. They go on the game peaked at 1.086 million viewers at 10 p.m. between 10 p.m. and 10:14. So that's good numbers there. Mike Mitchell has his breakdown on Atheon Sports, where he talks about the 4 UFL games for week 2 had average viewership of 842,000, a 38% bump over the average viewership of the XFL and USFL for their week 2 ratings a year ago. However, it remains to be seen how they do that. Of course, he's got the numbers. He breaks it all down. The DC game went up against the Ohio Buckeyes spring game on Fox, which got 660,000 viewers, plus the NHL on ABC and ESPN's college softball and Premier Soccer on NBC. Also, it went up against the Masters on CBS. That was the DC Defenders game. The 800,000 Memphis Showboats game. They had the NHL on ABC was the main competitor Saturday night on Fox. For a second straight week, the UFL was the number 1 in the key 18 to 49 demo on Primetime Network. So that's something to keep in mind on Saturday night. The NHL on ABC averaged 1.1 million, Boston versus, and then the 877,000 for the Islanders Rangers. So you could see there, I mean, they're putting up numbers equivalent to the NHL and not even paying a fraction of that. And just think, if they can sustain this and keep it going for the next couple of years, there you go. And then the final round on the Masters averaged 9.589 million viewers. Could you imagine that? UFL championship would be good. So that's just some other numbers out there. So overall, positive stuff. Attendance is kind of where we thought it would be. The numbers are doing better than the 2022 XFL and the USFL. They were kind of going head to head. The different time of year, that's an interesting thing, whether or not they continue to do that next year or they keep it this year. But the numbers are good compared to when in February when the XFL started. But when you think about the USFL when they started, but again, they were kind of going head to head in the beginning, fracturing the audience. Again, it comes down to the product and it comes down to trust. The football is great. The games are good. the players are good. The quarterback play has been great. So that is not an issue. It's just now is a matter of that the foundation is set, and it's just bringing in people to kind of watch the games and get connected to the league. And especially, I mean, if I was them and I knew they do listen, I would wait till about week 8 or so. And as long as everything's cool and you guys got to figure what's going on, start talking about expansion. And then that should drive interest even more, because people will be like, oh, well, I want a team in my area. And then you kind of go from there. I think you would do that. And just to show that the league is expanding, we're already talking about adding 2 teams next season. I think you need to do that during the season. Don't do that in the middle of the summer. I think that would generate a lot of buzz. And people want to trust the product. They've gotten burned by the XFL twice. I mean, if you forget about the 2001 XFL, but the 2020 XFL and 2023. I mean, think about Seattle and Orlando in particular, locations that didn't have a team. The New York Guardians, I mean, in 2020, and then Los Angeles, they got kind of hosed too. So you kind of burned those groups. The USFL, I mean, they were kind of in one location and they were kind of de facto teams. I mean, Pittsburgh wasn't playing in Pittsburgh, but, and then you think about Tampa Bay Bandits were there. Now it's the Memphis Showboats. Stability is really, and time, I think, is what this league needs. And I think these numbers are proving it. What do you think? Let us know about the numbers in the comments.